Atamaskato and adventurers, greetings. So, a few things on the agenda for today. Number one is I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to be releasing going forward, and that's because I'm trying to write one book per year, per calendar year. So I've written Chrysogon's Coterie, that was 2022. And then I did Beneath the Silver Spire for 2023, which means that I really should try to finish something before the end of this year, and it's underway. But yeah, I really have to weigh the amount of time that I have and my priorities and such. And so, yeah, I'm not threatening to stop YouTubing. I'm saying that I have a very small number of people. I'm not a YouTuber like in the important sense. I'm just, I'm an author that does this for fun when I have an idea. And honestly, this will be my 61st video. And I've said most of the things that I wanted to say already. So, yeah, if you're wanting more videos from me, just make sure that you've seen all the things that I've already put out. And even the ones you're not sure you'll enjoy, just give them a try, because it will get slower moving forward. Number two, if I space out during this video, it's because I'm getting over COVID. I mask. Okay. If you've heard me talk about this before, you know I have respiratory sensitivity. I get very, very ill very, very quickly. So I have to mask in public. But despite that, there are people out in public that are coughing and sneezing. And because there are no public health requirements that they contain themselves, maybe they just don't feel like it's something they want to be bothered with. But anyway, it makes people like me get very, very, very sick. So I swear I won't die of cancer. I'll die of respiratory failure at some point in the future. So anyway, yeah, not to put pressure on you, but I'm not the only person like me. So if you are sick and it's the summer and it's probably not a cold and you don't have any history with allergies, take a COVID test and just be on the safe side. People's lives depend on it. So anyway, I'm going to do another read-through of a couple of characters from Chrysogon's Coterie. And looking at the comments that I received from the previous video, David Gerard, who I love very much, and he's the author of Tales of the Laughing Dragon, which is a very popular, well-loved classic adventure for the basic fantasy role-playing game, piped in and said, do Burkhard de Groot. So I can't say no to Dave, so I'm going to do Burkhard de Groot. I don't always know what characters people identify with, and so yeah, if you have favorites and you want to hear me read them in my voice, sure, because I have no idea. I know which ones that I have affection for, and yeah. In the absence of hearing more suggestions, I can think of at least one that I want to talk about, just because, yeah, I empathize for him. He's me, an aspect of me, as are many of the characters in this book. Anyway, so Burkhard de Groot. From birth, Burkhard was born to be a fighter, like his father, his grandfather, and 9 previous generations of his kin. Despite the pressure, he never took to stick sword fights, instead choosing to wield his as a staff. Burkhard may never be a great magic user, but he's determined. As a youth, he was known to choke out or cold-cock opponents, then claim that he'd successfully cast sleep. There are conflicting reports as to whether or not that still occurs. So, one of the things that I chose to do with this book, I had a lot of the personalities and things in my head already, because I've been thinking about this book since I was probably 10, 11 years old. And much of it has just been shaped from my life experience as a social worker. And the people that I've met personally and professionally, there are no complete rip-off characters in this book, but there are certainly people, there are aspects of people that I've met through personal and professional entanglements. And I just, but the other part is that I did a lot of random rolling for people's abilities. So I found myself in strange situations where the random roll through Chris's website, basicfantasy.org has a tools section where you can do things like roll up NPC parties, and I used that to great effect to populate the stats for this book. But it gave me some strange results, and one of those was like magic users with 18 strength, and fighters with like 10 strength, but being put into those strange little confusing situations where the class and the attributes weren't a good match, it leads to a story that you have to explain. So that's where Burkhard came from. Like, clearly he kind of missed the boat. He was so intent on becoming a magic user, he really kind of skidded past his natural born abilities, but at a certain level had some awareness and was leaning, on his strength to kind of fudge his way through some spells. So there you go. Thanks, Dave. Love you. Love your book. Write another one. Come on. No, there's no pressure. Anyone that writes anything, even just a 2-page supplement for this game system, you have done a great service to the world. So you have my respect. So this page here, I wanted to go back to it because if you look under proofing, there's Daniel Collins, and he discovered my work somewhere, somehow, and as a result sort of ended up editing this book and the book that comes after it, the Beneath the Silver Spire, and just was completely consumed by the basic fantasy community, which is a wonderful thing. Anyway, he was one of the first fans of the book, and so much so that he helped me to polish it to what it is today, and I'm very grateful for that. But one of his favorite pet characters that he actually took on his first on an adventure with his own players was Beathan O'Brien. So I don't know why he liked Beathan so much, but I'm going to read him just because, if he's good enough for Daniel, then he's good enough for me. So, Beathan O'Brien. Most folks around town are struggling to fill their cups each day. For a few, their cup runneth over. Beathan insists that you continue to fill his cup while he slurps the overspill from the tabletop. He fights harder, sings louder, and eats and drinks more than anyone he knows. All these have increased steadily as he's traveled more of the world and met others like himself. While everyone hopes he's now reached the peak of his excess, who knows? It's a shame, really. He's not an idiot or a brute. He has alarming depth, which might result in actual leadership abilities someday, if he can just outlive his current habits. So, I wasn't thinking of a particular person when I wrote this, but I'm what's called a late bloomer in that just because of some things that I've been going through my life, I don't really feel like I had a really firm footing in order to really come out as a person and I don't know, let some of the trapped feelings and thoughts and stuff that I had inside of me really come out to play and share that with people freely and openly until my 40s. So anyway, like a lot of characters, there's a little bit of Beathan in me, or me in him, I don't know. Some people you can see the possibility, the little seed of promise that's in there, and you just hope that someday with enough nurturing it'll come out, but who knows exactly. So there you go. There's the who knows phrase in that paragraph. Anyway, the book is Chrysogon's Coterie. I'm Todd Lyons. And I'm going to continue to try to write one book per year for the basic fantasy role-playing game because it is a wonderful implementation, a recreation, a retroclone of 1981 basic expert box set D&D, Moldvay Cook, which, that's really where my heart is at. Stripped down, very character-driven, not rolling for everything, but just thinking on your feet and looking at where you are and trying to figure out, well, what can we do? So, wonderful. That's why I want to put my effort into making more things for this system. In any case, I'm grateful for you. Kikichi no nasu komi te nawa. Until next time.